All right, wrestling family, we got Daryl Thomas here with us. Coach Thomas, um, listen, I'm glad you're on, my man. The biggest reason I have you on is because just looking at you from a distance and crossing paths with you, went to the same university, University of Illinois. So we share that alma mater, wrestling and all that good stuff. We're connected by that. But just I'm admiring you right now from a distance. You know, you're a family man. You got the coaching career jumped off right now in a major way. You're doing big things. You've had to be nimble and pivot and shift and jump to some different coaching positions. But what I'm looking at is your consistency, man, your will, your grit, and you're out here, man. You're looking good right now. You got the fresh cut, you know what I mean? Like everything is, no matter what's going on the outside, you're maintaining it. And really, this podcast is to give kudos to folks I connect with, I enjoy, and you're one of those people, man, that I respect, I admire. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of you, and I just want to get connected with you today and chop it up in front of the people.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Cash, that means a lot coming from you, man. Obviously, watching you at Illinois before we came through, and then you being there when we came through, and going back to school. I remember helping you move spot. And,
Tell
the
us about
spot
it. Tell us about it. What do you
wasn't too
remember
bad.
from that?
You had it ready to go. It wasn't too bad at all. But man, no, I appreciate that, man, because everything you just said is to a T. And having the career that I had wrestling wise, probably wasn't supposed to accomplish half of what I did, and I didn't accomplish half of what I wanted to. And so having it, in the way it did, and be able to still be in the coaching game right now, and
Right.
it's special, and it's a lot of hard work, a lot of faith, faith with the without seeing it in front of you right away. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to still be in the game.
Yes, sir. Well said. And I remember talking to Coach Johnson one time, and I was like, I was one time All American, but I told him, I was hurt. I was hurt about just not doing better, not winning the national tournament, not making it to the finals and things like that, and wishing I could go back. And he looked at me and he said, "Everybody wishes they could have done better." And when he said it, it's just true. You know what I mean? As athletes competing at such a high level,
Right.
there's nothing's ever good enough.
Right.
Even a national champion is just not satisfied, because you're like, okay, what's next? Right.
Right.
For instance, you got Jordan Burroughs. He's still out here looking for what's next. Like, how could there be a next? Right. But there always is when you had that competitive drive. So on the athletic side, man, you did great. I watched you bust your butt in that wrestling room, day in and day out, and you did great things, man. You never gave up. Anytime you got knocked down, you did what? You got back up.
Yeah, but
And that's what you're doing in the game of life right now, man. So it's all commendable. And in my eyes, you're the man.
yeah.
And I know you're the man in a lot of other people's eyes too. That's why,
Appreciate
I
that.
got you on, man, and I'm sharing this space with you. But let's take it back, man. It's so from University of Illinois, you went straight into coaching
Yep.
at your high school alma mater, right?
Yeah.
Edwardsville. So tell me about what motivated you to just continue coaching. Is that something you always wanted to do, or?
Well, my high school coach was very influential in my life, and a big reason why I had the opportunity to go to Illinois. And so watching how he kind of handled me and my process and
Mm,
my career, and helped develop me. I think it was always in the back of my head. And then when I got done, we had kind of had a couple conversations, and just always wanting to give back to that program, give back to him what he gave to me, and give
mm,
it to other kids.
mm,
And so I had that opportunity to go back home, and felt like definitely looking long term, could have had an opportunity to maybe take over the alma mater one day. And so got back. We had a heck of a year. I learned so much working alongside him from a different perspective versus athlete versus being a coach.
right.
Learned a lot, and we had a heck of a year. And then I just still had that itch, to get back to the college level, specifically the Division 1 level. And I had the opportunity at Northern Illinois become available,
Right.
get back in there as a volunteer assistant. So um, I knew I had to start at the bottom, and really, really grind it out, and grow myself and develop my myself as a coach, and become well-rounded. And I was lucky to get that opportunity from Ryan Ludwig up at NIU.
Yeah, definitely. And that's good, man. And it makes me think of coaching, right? Because I coached too. I coached at Delaware State University for a while before they in fact dropped their program. So I know what that's like.
Yeah.
You share that kind of experience with ODU, but
Right.
the coaching game is totally different from being an athlete, right? So
Yeah.
you could have somebody that's a superior athlete and has garnered a lot of success on
Hmm.
the wrestling mat, but it doesn't necessarily translate to coaching, right? You
Right.
have to connect with people. It's just a different ball game. So what do you think has made you successful in the coaching game outside of just being an athlete yourself?
I think part of it is just what you said a little bit earlier is I had to work to really put myself in position to be, a good athlete at the University of Illinois, and I took that same type of hunger and will and just put it into coaching, and just was willing to try to outwork, the people who were alongside me or in the same position as me. But then also I would say relationships. I think they're everything in this profession, whether it be recruiting, whether it be with your athletes,
Right.
whether it be with donor relations and things like that. It's everything in this profession, and I'm blessed to be able to be, able to develop those relationships quickly with people, and really have them be genuine, not just doing it for what they can do for me, but just really have it be genuine and really getting to know people.
Right. So you got a
Personally.
genuine passion for it and a kind of a natural ability to just connect with folks and talk to them on a very human level, and understand what they need individually, what families need, and
Right.
it transfers into coaching.
Definitely.
All
Definitely.
right, cool, cool, cool. So let's talk about your coaching path, man. So
Yeah.
um, when people look at resumes and they see multiple places, they wonder why. But the
Right.
coaching game, the wrestling coaching game is just it's different, man. So speak on that a little bit on why it's different and why it's necessary to uh, be willing to move or be willing to make adjustments and still fight for what you want, which is to be a coach, which is to connect with folks and to do it at the best university or wherever you're trying to get into. So your path was Northern Illinois or Lincoln College rather, Northern Illinois, ODU, and now you're making a name for yourself at Campbell.
Yeah, I would say just in general with the coaching profession and having to move a little bit and be flexible. I
Right.
think as you start to want to progress your career, um, those opportunities have to be available to you to grow in all areas. Like I talked about earlier, you have recruiting. That's just one area. You have development and training. You have the ability to fundraise and raise money for the program.
Right.
Have relationships with administration and all those things. So there's so many areas that you need to try to be proficient in or get experience in, and sometimes that may not be readily available to you where you're at. So you have to be willing to move a little bit to progress your career. And I think at the end of the day, if you get into it and you don't have the will to want to be a head coach at some point, then I just think it may be, it's not that's not why you get into it. I think you want to be able to lead and give back and be able to impact lives. And the best way to do that is in from a leadership position. And you can do it as an assistant,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And I've been able to do
Right.
that, but it hits a little bit different when you're, the leader of the program and able to impact those lives. So, and then for me, just personally, mine were just kind of the opportunities that presented themselves made sense at those times. So I was at Northern for 2 years as a volunteer assistant and
Mm-hmm.
worked really closely with the lightweights and had the opportunity to kind of run like one piece of fundraising and then do our newsletter. So I got those experiences there. And then I had um, at Lincoln College became available, and they were making the transition from junior college to NAIA.
Right.
Um, and so I looked really hard at that. I had the opportunity to take the second assistant position at Northern,
Mm-hmm.
and I was 25 at the time. And I had that opportunity at the same time as having this opportunity to be a head coach at 25, um, in the state of Illinois, where I had a lot
Right.
of relationships, and I ended up taking that. It just made a lot of sense. I had the support of the AD, who was the wrestling coach before, Dave Clem, who, I owe a lot to for taking a chance on a young guy like me. and had to have him, be there if I needed anything, or to kind of be able to help me on the day to day if I needed it, and have the support of him was huge. You wouldn't have been able to do what we did in that 1 year I was there.
Right.
So we had a good year there. We had 5 All-Americans my first year and took fourth, and I was part of some task force that were helping make that transition to NAI in 4 year institution. And then Steve Martin at Old Dominion reached out, and he was like, I guess I'll go back. I guess Division I has always been kind of the goal. And when that opportunity came up, I felt like I could be there for a long time, see the transition through,
Right.
and really build something special there. And we were. And then when Steve reached out, with the opportunity to join his staff as the second assistant, financially it made a lot of sense. His goals and vision for the program made sense and aligned with mine, and really liked the area. So, and if my wife wasn't on board with it, it wouldn't have happened. Um,
I know
but
what that's like. I know what that
exactly,
feeling is like.
exactly,
I'm also a married man, so I already know it's more than one person making that decision. So
exactly. Um, but yeah, it took a leap of faith there again to get back into Division I and full time on staff. And after year one there, I had the opportunity to be promoted to associate head coach.
yeah,
I spent 2 years in that role, got a ton of experience and behind the scenes, and I'm forever grateful to Steve for allowing me to do those things and helping him manage the budget and team travel and get the ends on scholarship and things like that. So did that for 2 years. We had a top 10 recruiting class coming in, and then unfortunately, get a call out of the blue, and the program was discontinued during COVID.
right.
So then there you have to pivot again, and thankfully and luckily, not luckily,
Wait,
but
wait, 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 wait. Let's pause. What were you thinking in that moment? So when you got that phone call and the program's discontinued, here you are, you're a family man, you have a wife, you got children, people who depend on you. So I think of it from that perspective, because I
right,
too have a wife and now I have two children. So if I get
right.
a call like that, there's a range of emotions. So I want to know like what you felt, and kind of what and how you transfer whatever emotions you felt to, hey, going to get that next opportunity.
Yeah, that was tough, man. So I was at the grocery store,
Yeah.
checking out at the grocery store, and I get a call from Steve.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody knows Steve, if he's calling me, it's probably going to be 30 minutes at least. So I'm like, I'll give him a call as soon as I get out of here.
Right.
And then he calls me again, and he's texting me like, "Hey, answer the phone." Like, dang, what is going on? Then I get an email notification, and it's essentially like a letter of resignation or dismissal,
Okay.
and I'm like, what? So I'm like in shock at this moment, and
Yeah.
finish checking out, and I go out to the parking lot, get in the car, give him a call back, and he's in the office with the AD, and the AD breaks the news to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately after that, it was some onions in the room, to say the least. And I was hurt. I was hurt. It
Yeah.
was a lot of building, lot of building that we had done over 3 years, and I was like, dang, just for it to be gone like that, felt like I was on a good path.
Right.
And then so I immediately go home, go up. My wife's up in the bedroom, go up and tell her, and I just like she knew something was wrong,
For
and I'm just
sure.
like
Right.
the program just got cut. So then we're in shock, and then immediately it was like, all right, now we have to figure out what's next.
Right.
Do I get out of the game? Do I stay here and try to find a job? Because she had a very good job there, and so we had to go through all those things, and then Campbell Colat had just left, and
Right.
Synthes was taking over, and man, luckily it just the stars aligned for me to have another opportunity.
And that's good, man. I'm glad the stars aligned, and you guys were able to transition there, and you were able to continue your path on coaching, because I can tell you got a lot of passion for it, and you have a lot to offer in terms of just the wrestling game and everything that comes with it, man. So Campbell is should be grateful to have you. It's a blessed situation, and I'm definitely personally happy for you, that you're continuing your D1 career there right now.
Yeah, man, it's good. It's good. We got a good program, good group, and
Yep.
they're all young. They're all young too, so we're excited, man.
Yeah, and I was getting my MBA at University of Illinois when Win Mahalik was there. He was
Yeah.
training at the University of Illinois, and we brushed past a couple of times because I called myself going in there wrestling still after, post college trying to do some things. I was actually in decent shape compared to what
Yeah.
I'm in now. So I'm grateful for how I was there. Like I wish I was in that shape now, but yeah, I got to get back into it, man. But the times I crossed paths with him, he was just a really down to earth guy, really nice guy, really hard nosed, hard working guy. So how is it working with Win and the coaching staff there, man? And
Yeah, it's
how do
great,
you
man.
see that furthering your coaching career?
It's been great. I've
Yeah,
learned a lot. And there's a reason for every mishap, every pivot that you have to have in your life or
yeah,
career. There's a reason, and I feel like there was a reason for that one, a reason that I'm here. And I've learned a ton on the marketing and promotion side of the
good,
program. Just
good.
Sintez is phenomenal at that, and really marketing us as coaches, because he knows our goals. He does a phenomenal job of that. Marketing our athletes. We've got one of the best social media guys in the country in Josiah
Mhm.
Risco, just for wrestling, and so it's been able to get our name out there a little bit.
Right.
Working with Wynn's been great. Obviously, he coached me. He was on the staff at Illinois when I was there, and then now he's the same family man, man of faith,
Right.
and it's been great working with those guys. We mesh well. Now we're a year into it, and um, kind of have developed some really strong relationships with each other and with the guys on the team. So it's a good culture. It's a good culture going right now here.
Good, good. And speaking of that culture, where do you see the program going in the future? And what is the basic foundation of the culture that you guys are trying to build there?
Yeah, so I would say where can we see the program going? I mean, the sky's the limit. We have a freshman class right now with that was a top 10 recruiting class. We have a
Hmm.
class that's coming in that's like a top 25 fringe recruiting class. And hoping to put another one on top. So anytime you stack nationally ranked recruiting classes on top of each other, then you should eventually see a lot of success and another jump in the program.
Right,
We had a guy in
right.
the round of 12, 7 national qualifiers this year. We've got everybody back, minus one. So, I mean, the sky's really the limit. I don't want to put a number on it, but I think if we're competing to be in that top 20, here in the next year or so, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, and trying to have several, multiple All Americans. So that's definitely possible. And then what was as far as our culture, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag a little bit. We're trying to hold off till August to kind of to put it out there. But where we're at is called Bowie's Creek. Is the city, and basically
Okay.
Bowie's Creek is Campbell. Like everything in Bowie's Creek is owned by Campbell University. So
Okay.
uh, we call it Creek mentality. So we want them to kind of own where we're at, where we're located, and
Right.
own our program and have pride in that. So the three words that we want them to kind of lock in on, we feel like embodies that is pride. So pride, like I said, pride in where they're at, professionalism, the way, not only the way that they carry themselves, but also the way that they approach the sport, the way that they
Hmm.
approach academics, every aspect of their life. Want them to have a professional approach, because at the end of the day, this is really the professional level. Very few are going to be able to compete at the Olympic level and make
Yeah.
world teams and things like that. So they got to treat this as a profession.
Right. For sure.
And then relentless pursuit. Like there's going to be tough moments where you're going to have to fight through a little bit of adversity or some hardship, and have to keep going. And we want guys that want to be able to go through that and see it through to the end, and see the kind of the have that little bit of delayed gratification at the end.
Yeah, man, that's excellent. That's excellent. And I really like that Creek mentality. It's like Mamba mentality, but that's also aligns with I think who you are,
Yeah,
period. So that's gonna be easy for you to help teach and help make connections with those guys because that's basically who you are. That's your life
exactly,
story. It's
exactly.
perseverance, it's grinding. And I love it. I love it, man. Hey, man, the last thing I want to talk about is not necessarily wrestling, but just being a father. I'm when I look at you, I'm looking at myself. Just a
Yeah,
young man out here grinding. Now in a profession, had an athletic career, but now you've moved on. You're a professional, and you're juggling your profession with fatherhood. You have two children. I have two children.
yeah.
Um, so just tell me a little bit about just that balance in your approach for those who see themselves as accomplishing something great in a profession, but hey, there's other responsibilities out there. And tell us about your approach with handling everything. And
Yeah. So
I'm taking notes right now too for me. So
hey, you got one boy, so you got a little bit of a leg up there. But no, man, I'm no, I'm super blessed, man. So
yeah,
had my first daughter when I was in college. So 2 years, my last 2 years of college, was juggling that act with having her, being a father, and trying to be a Division I athlete and get a Big Ten degree.
yeah,
Um, wouldn't change it for the world. It's made me who I am, and it's been had to grind through with that. Like when I was in Illinois, those are 8-hour drives to get her for the summer, and then
right, right.
in Virginia, you get more time because you're closer, and now it's only 3.5 each way. And now we're about 2 hours. We meet about 2 hours in the middle, so get to see her a lot more now, and she's here with us right now for the week.
Good, good.
She'll be back in 2 weeks for the rest of the summer. So it's a balancing act, and then now we have our 10-month-old Kennedy, well, she's about to be 10 months, and we
And
started taking.
congrats on that. Congrats.
Thank you, man. Congrats on yours too. Are
Thank
you
you,
at a month
man.
yet?
He's a month. He's a little over a month. He's like
Okay.
6 weeks.
Okay. Um, but no, I mean
Eating constantly. He won't stop eating. He's gonna be heavyweight. I'm telling you, Daryl. Listen, he's good. He was 9 pounds and 10 ounces when he was born. He's
Yeah.
like 12 or 13 pounds now, and he's
Okay.
still eating. So, but yeah, I got my hands full. But go ahead, man. Sorry to cut you
Uh,
off.
no, you're good. You're good. No, but I mean it's a balancing act, and they have to come first. My wife has to come first, and but she gets it. She understands, the coaching life and what it entails, and
Right,
those are things we talked about before we got married, and but at the same time, you don't want to take advantage of that and kind of overdo being away from home if you can help it. So
right.
everything that I do is surrounded by those decisions are surrounded by time with the family. How is that going to affect it and things like that. So I'm learning to this day. It's just it's a daily battle. It's a daily grind, but just try to keep it at the forefront of my mind that they need just as much attention that our athletes get and that the
Right,
troops
right.
get. So and try to involve them. She's a huge wrestling fan. My wife is, so
Hmm.
she's very involved. You see her on Twitter tweeting and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So
yeah.
having her involved, if she wasn't as involved as she is, it may be tougher. But
Right.
she loves it. She enjoys it. She enjoys being seeing the guys, being around the guys and stuff like that. So that
That's
makes
a
it a lot
blessing.
easier.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a blessing for sure. All right, the last thing I want to discuss is like your legacy, man. So you're here now, you're grinding, you're in a great position to do great things with Campbell, with that staff there, with the athletes there, and move that program forward. That's a beautiful thing. But let's talk about just man to man between me and you. What's that legacy looking like? So you're on the coaching path, and you're doing big things, and there's only an upswing for you, which is great. So with that being said, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want your wife to know you as and your baby girls, man, in terms of that legacy?
Yeah. Well, I want them to know that I was a grinder, I was a worker, and I was going to work for everything I got. I didn't want
Yeah,
anything handed to me,
right.
and that they always came first from a family standpoint. Um, I think that is big, and I think and that goes from the wrestling piece too. Anybody that comes in contact with me, I want them to feel that way about me and know that I developed genuine relationships.
Yep.
um, and eventually, when that time comes, I'll have an opportunity to run a program, hopefully at the Division I level, but whatever God has in store for me, it'll happen when the time is right. And when that time comes, I'm prepared and ready.
Yep.
And, we try to do some special things.
Hey, stay ready. You won't have to get ready. And I
Yeah.
know that you're ready. You're ready now. Everything that you're doing every single day is preparing you for not only your current opportunity, but any future opportunity. So I'll wrap this up with you now, man. And I appreciate you hopping on. I appreciate you hopping on this podcast. I'm sure I gotta go wipe my baby's butt right now. And I'll be having a bottle in his mouth in like 2 seconds. So for you to take some time away from your profession and what you got going on, I truly appreciate you, man. Blessings. You're the man. We'll definitely be in touch. Thank you for blessing this podcast. Hey, folks, Follow at Wrestling Fan Podcast. If you got any questions for me or Daryl, shoot me an email at wrestlingfam at gmail.com. And Daryl, is there any way they can maybe get in touch with you or your
Yeah.
Instagram or Twitter? I mean, I don't want you to give away your banking and routing number or anything like that, but
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Daryl Thomas 8025. You can email me dthomas at campbell.edu. And yeah, we'll connect on there. But I appreciate you having me on, Cass, man. It means the world to jump on here, especially one of the early ones that you have before you blow up,
yeah.
man.
Hey, we'll see where this thing goes. But I will tell you this, man. I was just talking to a family member the other day. It's giving me a lot, man. It's personally it's fun for me. I love connecting with folks, and I did a internship at University of Illinois where I did a what do you call it? Blogging.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah,
and folks gravitated towards the blogging and got stuff out of it. So what I'm really hoping is that folks get stuff out of it, whether you're an athlete, a young person, or a coach or whatever, you just get something positive out of it. And I'm having a lot of fun, man. So wherever this goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it's all good. It's all love.
yeah,
There's no mistakes and no accidents. But thank you, brother. I'll let you go. I know you got a lot of work to do, a lot of things to do,
yeah.
but I'm blessed for this time. All right.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you later, Daryl.
Okay, talk to you soon, man.
All right, my man.